Hi everybody, this is Donnie Vaughn. I'm going to do this particular video tutorial on how to update a page on the Ovilla site. So let's just use an example, and I should point out that this is for the additional pages. We're going to talk about how to update the home page in a separate video, so you might look for that particular video if you haven't seen it. But let's say that we want to go over to, I'm just going to pick, let's say the contact page. Let's say we get a new phone number. Well, you know, that's not, let's use a better example. I think on the admissions pages where I was looking at one. Yeah, let's look at making a change here to this phone number. All right. Now, what we're going to do, for the sake of this, since this is a live site, I'm not going to actually change the phone number. I'm just going to give you an idea how to make that change. So what you're looking for is each of the pages should have a page title, and that's helpful to know how to change the page by knowing what the page title is. So you go back to your dashboard, and if you haven't looked at the dashboard tutorial, I'd encourage you to make sure you look at that one first. You come over here to pages. You can get to pages either hovering over here on the side menu, or you can even hover either one of these two. It shows you there's 42 pages. I just usually go here and hit all pages. That's typically how I do it. Now you'll see here there are lots of pages on this website right now, and you'll notice too there right over here on the right side it says 1 of 3. So if you look down and think, well, where's all the rest of the pages, just push the arrow button and it'll go to the next page and so forth and so on, and that's how that'll work. There's also a way you can search pages, and I like to do this from time to time because sometimes after you get close to 100 pages on here, you know, sometimes it's harder to find pages. So what I'll do is I'll just search for that page title and say, let's look for the word admissions. And it'll do its own searching, and there's a lot of different things that have the word admissions in it, but you can clearly see that this is the one that we're looking for. The way I know it also is if I go back to the site, and you can't see this, but at the top of my browser, it has the URL of ovillachristianschool.org/admissions. And so I can come over and hover over this and hover over the word view, and you may not be able to see it. Let me see if I can move my screen down just a bit. If I hover over the word view, if you look down in the lower left, right down in here, you'll see that that's the right one, ovillachristianschool.org/admissions. So that's what we need to do. So what I do is I either hit edit or I hit admissions. I don't ever hit quick edit. You don't want to hit trash unless you're really trying to get rid of it. But you either hit one of these two. I just typically click the word, and that gets me into the actual page where I can edit that page. Now once I'm in the page, what I'm looking at is two different tabs here. There is a text tab and a visual tab. The text tab is actually kind of the behind the scenes coding and all that stuff, because even though you have a visual tab that looks a little bit prettier, everything runs off of code anyway, and so that's kind of the back end part of it. I typically don't do a lot in the back end code. Sometimes I do, but I don't expect you to do a lot of that. Primarily I'm going to have you click the visual tab. So if it doesn't come to the visual tab and you get to this, make sure you click the visual tab, because it's going to be a little bit easier to look at. And you'll notice here that this page looks very similar to the information on here. Now what's different is the formatting. If you think, well, that font doesn't match this font, well, keep in mind that this is just the back end of WordPress. It's looking for information, you put it in, and then the theme takes over, and the theme has built-in fonts that change it to look like this. So don't do a lot of formatting in here with fonts and stuff like that. I mean, you can't really change a lot in here anyway. But don't do a lot of formatting and stuff. You want to keep it simple and consistent and go from there. So here's what we want to do. If we want to change something on here, let's say we want to change the phone number, the extension. Now I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do it, but all you have to do is simply go in here and do that. So I'm going to add an extra punctuation mark there just so we can see it. You make that change. Notice that it's just one punctuation after the number 7, and I'm going to hit update. Over here on the right side, the blue box, you see the little circle going, and then it says now page updated. And if I go and refresh my browser, you'll see that there are two as soon as the browser updates, and there it is. Now you have two different punctuations. So that's how you edit a page.